Have you ever wondered what lies at the very bottom of the ocean? Beneath the crashing waves and sunlit shallows exists a mysterious, unexplored world, darker, deeper, and more alien than space itself. Today, we're not just imagining it. We're taking the plunge. Right now, you're aboard a state-of-the-art submersible, specially designed to survive the crushing pressures of the deepest ocean trenches. This isn't just any underwater adventure. We're going all the way down to Challenger Deep, the very bottom of the Mariana Trench. It's the deepest known point on Earth, and only a handful of humans have ever reached it. You won't need to hold your breath. You'll be safe inside this titanium-hulled craft as we slowly sink through layers of marine life, geological marvels, and prehistoric predators. From sunlit coral reefs to pitch-black abyssal plains, every stop on the way tells a story of evolution, survival, and mystery. Keep your eyes glued to the window, because some of what you're about to witness has rarely been seen, even by scientists. So sit back, relax, and prepare yourself for the ultimate descent into darkness. The ocean is calling, and we're going to answer. As we begin our descent, the uppermost layer of the ocean greets us with light, color, and life. This is the epipelagic zone, also known as the sunlight zone, stretching from the surface down to about 130 feet. Here, sunlight still penetrates easily, allowing photosynthesis and supporting an explosion of marine biodiversity. Vibrant schools of tropical fish swim in synchrony through shimmering coral gardens, while sea turtles glide gracefully between towering reef structures. It's like flying through a living, breathing forest underwater. Look closely and you'll spot scuba divers hovering nearby, exploring the beauty just beneath the waves. This is the domain of recreational diving, a paradise for underwater photographers, marine biologists, and thrill seekers alike. But by the time we reach 130 feet, it's time for even the most adventurous divers to turn back. Beyond this point, water pressure increases dramatically, and human lungs can't handle the squeeze without specialized equipment and training. For us, though, this is only the beginning. We're going far deeper. As sunlight starts to dim and the seafloor begins to slope downward, wave goodbye to the coral reefs and divers above. Ahead lies a world untouched by light and filled with strange, otherworldly life. At 200 feet beneath the surface, we enter a deeper, more mysterious zone of the ocean, one where the sunlight begins to fade and only experienced marine creatures thrive. Gliding through the water beside us are orcas, also known as killer whales. Despite the name, they're not whales at all. They're actually massive dolphins. Highly intelligent and lethal hunters, orcas are apex predators. That means they sit at the very top of the food chain with no natural enemies. Watching them move with such grace and power is a reminder of nature's perfect design. At 230 feet, our submersible floats alongside a true gentle giant, the whale shark. These behemoths are the largest fish species on Earth, sometimes growing over 40 feet long and weighing as much as 60 tons. Despite their size, they're harmless filter feeders. They consume plankton, not prey. By the time we reach 330 feet, the rules of human diving change. This depth marks the extreme limits even for professional divers. Here, a rapid ascent could cause decompression sickness, a dangerous and potentially fatal condition. But don't worry, inside our pressurized sub, we're safe. And we're just beginning our descent into the deep. We're now slipping below 490 feet, and with it, we leave the sunlight behind. Welcome to the twilight zone of the ocean, where only about 1% of sunlight manages to reach. The blue hue around us fades into deep shadow, and visibility shrinks with every passing meter. This is a realm few people ever see, and where some of the strangest creatures on Earth begin to appear. Floating just beyond the sub, you may spot a giant Pacific octopus unfurling its long, muscular arms. These brilliant creatures thrive in the cooler, darker depths, sometimes reaching 16 feet across. Known for their intelligence and camouflage abilities, they lurk in rocky crevices, waiting to pounce on prey. At 660 feet, a long, ribbon-like form begins to swirl around us. It's the elusive oarfish, measuring up to 36 feet in length. This silver serpent-like fish may have inspired tales of sea monsters in ancient times. With its undulating movements and ghostly appearance, it's easy to see why sailors feared it. As we press deeper into the shadows, the water becomes colder, the pressure more intense, and the creatures more bizarre. From here on out, we're truly venturing into the unknown. At 980 feet below the surface, the ocean begins to feel heavier, quieter. But lurking in the dim blue is a creature that looks like it walked out of a science fiction movie. The Japanese spider crab, with spindly legs that can stretch up to 12 feet across. These deep-sea giants look more like alien invaders than ocean dwellers. Yet their bodies are surprisingly small, just about 1.5 feet wide. Most of what you see is all legs. Descending deeper, at 1,640 feet, the last of the blue whales bid us farewell. These oceanic titans, the largest animals to ever live, rarely dive this far unless they're searching for food or evading predators. You can still hear them, though. Their calls echo faintly through the deep, traveling across vast underwater distances. At around 1,970 feet, we pass through the Sofar Channel, a special layer in the ocean where sound travels farthest and clearest. This is where fin whales communicate, their low-pitched songs traveling hundreds, even thousands of miles. By 2,723 feet, we reach a humbling point. If the Burj Khalifa stood here, Earth's tallest building wouldn't even break the surface. Now, darkness truly takes hold. At 2,950 feet deep, we enter a zone where myth and reality collide. Out of the blackness, a massive shape drifts into view, the legendary giant squid. With eyes the size of dinner plates and tentacles that can stretch over 40 feet, this deep-sea creature was once thought to be just a sailor's tale. But here it is, drifting silently through the dark, its bioluminescent flashes briefly illuminating the void. These giants are rarely seen alive. They live solitary lives in the extreme depths and only surface after death, washed up by storms. Hovering silently nearby are their only known natural predators, the sperm whales. These enormous, toothed whales dive deep into the darkness to battle squids like these in brutal underwater duels. The scars on their skin tell stories of encounters few have ever witnessed. At 3,600 feet, we officially enter the midnight zone, where total darkness reigns. No sunlight reaches this far. The water pressure here is intense enough to crush a human in seconds without protection. It's quiet, cold, and filled with unseen terrors. Only the toughest, most well-adapted creatures can survive in this world. And we are just passing through. At 3,600 feet below the surface, we pass one of the ocean's most extraordinary and least-known features, West Mata, one of the world's deepest underwater volcanoes. This seafloor monster last erupted in 2009, and the event was caught on camera by robotic submarines. Imagine fiery lava exploding in the middle of a pitch-black ocean. A surreal blend of fire and water, heat and ice-cold pressure. Even here, life finds a way. Microbes and strange creatures thrive on the superheated chemicals spewing from hydrothermal vents. Descending further, at 4,200 feet, another apex predator emerges from the darkness, the great white shark. Despite the absence of light, these hunters patrol with ease, relying on smell, electromagnetic sensing, and raw instinct. They don't need to see you to catch you. Their hunting grounds go far deeper than most people realize. Sharing these depths are leatherback sea turtles, the largest of all turtles. These gentle giants can dive to nearly the same depth as great whites, possibly searching for jellyfish or just showing off nature's unexpected strength. Then at 4,900 feet, huge nets appear, part of deep-sea trawling operations that scrape the ocean floor for fish. Sadly, these nets destroy delicate habitats and catch everything in their path, friend or foe. At 6,000 feet deep, we've reached a point equivalent to standing at the bottom of the Grand Canyon. Only here, everything is submerged in complete darkness and pressure strong enough to crush submarines that aren't reinforced. Imagine the canyon's massive walls and winding valleys, now filled with ice-cold seawater and crawling with strange, alien creatures. At 6,600 feet, our floodlights catch a glimpse of the terrifying black dragonfish. With its long, serpentine body, sharp fangs, and glowing lures, It's a creature straight out of a nightmare. Females are equipped with bioluminescent barbs on their chins to attract prey, while their teeth are transparent to stay invisible in the pitch-black waters. The dragonfish may be only a foot long, but it's one of the ocean's most efficient predators at this depth. At 7,400 feet, we see the last of the sperm whales. This is the maximum depth they can reach, and very few ever dive this deep. What they search for here remains largely a mystery. Perhaps it's food, perhaps it's curiosity, or perhaps it's simply nature pushing limits. Beyond this point, few large creatures venture. But we're going deeper still, into the realm where almost no light or life remains. At 9,900 feet below the surface, the unexpected happens. Deep-sea coral reefs come into view. Unlike the bright, colorful reefs near the surface, these are pale and ghostly, growing slowly in the frigid dark. These ancient coral forests provide shelter for a surprising range of life, from shrimp and brittle stars to predatory fish adapted to crushing pressure and freezing cold. Despite the harsh conditions, these reefs flourish quietly in the dark, unseen by human eyes unless special deep-sea equipment is used. It's a hidden world, hauntingly beautiful and incredibly fragile. Now we approach the average depth of the world's oceans, about 12,100 feet. At this point, we've gone deeper than most undersea mountain ranges, deeper than almost every point on Earth's seafloor. But now we enter something different, something darker. At 13,100 feet begins the abyss, a region so deep, cold, and pressurized that it's almost unimaginable. The pressure here is equivalent to having a full military tank pressing down on every square inch of your body, or a regiment of elephants all stomping at once. Yet life still endures. In this extreme environment, evolution has crafted creatures tougher and stranger than anything we've seen so far. At 15,000 feet, we've entered a realm that feels like pure science fiction. Here live some of the most horrifying creatures ever discovered, life forms so bizarre and alien that they could star in nightmares. First up is the anglerfish, a grotesque predator with needle-like teeth and a glowing lure hanging from its forehead. It uses this eerie light to attract prey in the pitch-black void. Its jaw can open wide enough to swallow creatures almost its own size, and its body can stretch to accommodate them. Even more disturbing is the black swallower, a snake-like fish capable of devouring animals twice its size whole. It has a distensible stomach and elastic skin, allowing it to consume creatures that make it look like it swallowed a balloon. It's unsettling and fascinating. Look down now. At a bone-crushing depth of 18,900 feet lies the SS Rio Grande, the deepest shipwreck ever discovered. This German cargo ship sank in 1941 and rested here undisturbed for over 5 decades before it was found. It's a ghost from World War II, preserved in icy black silence, far beyond the reach of light or ordinary exploration. Yet we're not done. The deepest part of the ocean still lies ahead. We've now entered the most mysterious and extreme environment on Earth, the Mariana Trench. Officially beginning at a staggering 19,700 feet, this crescent-shaped scar in the Pacific Ocean floor stretches nearly 1,500 miles long and plunges to unimaginable depths. Few have ever ventured here, and what lies within remains one of Earth's final frontiers. As we descend, the water is so dark and dense that it feels like we're traveling through another dimension. At 26,000 feet, a curious creature drifts into view, the snailfish, the deepest living vertebrate ever discovered. Its pale, gelatinous body is nearly transparent, adapted perfectly to withstand the crushing pressures. Despite its fragile appearance, it's a survivor, thriving where no other fish can. It's strange, alien, and oddly beautiful. And then at 35,853 feet, we reach it, Challenger Deep, the deepest known point in Earth's oceans. This is the absolute bottom, a place fewer humans have seen than the surface of the moon. There are no fish here, no light, only silence and the weight of the planet above. Microbes, invertebrates, and life forms still unknown to science cling to survival in the dark. This is the true end of our journey, but perhaps only the beginning for discovery.